So in the previous video, we went through my work on the demo that I released on Patreon and my approach to tackling the feedback I received, which in a nutshell, people thought the game was good, but just needed to be a little easier for new players to quickly grasp and understand how to play, leading to what I worked on next, which was revamping the tutorial section which I had began to work on in the game. For those of you who don't know, this game is the game that ties directly into the beginning of Sword of Symphony, taking place during its literal development. And by now, you know, the first chapter of this game will be coming out in 2026. Now, for the movement section of the tutorial which I had planned, I didn't really need to change too much since, you know, pretty easy enough. The WASD to move, space to jump. How are you ever going to go wrong with that? But the tutorial for the combat section, which the old version you could see in the 2025 announcement trailer for this game, was virtually non-existent. I mean, it was there, but just on the basic level. It wasn't teaching how to do any of this, which obviously during demo testing increased the time a player would have to take to be able to play the game in the way it's intended to actually enjoy at full capacity. Now, there's actually quite a fair chunk to learn about the game's controls first before you learn how to play like this, but with that in consideration, the one thing I didn't want was the player to feel like they were just about to go through a long and boring manual on how to play the game before they could finally enjoy it. Therefore, I needed to figure out a way to gamify the tutorial itself. Therefore, well, I did exactly what I said. Now, because the world is so experimental and meta and surreal, I can use the narrative of the game itself to even make small things like the game's tutorial a lot more of an interesting and emotional experience than it otherwise would be on paper. So when I was approaching this, I first reflected on what the tutorial would mean to the main character from the philosophical and story standpoint. What does it mean to learn how to overcome an enemy you previously thought wasn't possible to overcome? And how can that tie into the grander scheme of where I'm leading the narrative by the end of the chapter? Now, I'm obviously not going to spoil what I came up with, but I actually like it, to be honest. And not just in a, I made it so I'm proud of it manner, but in a, oh, this is actually quite nice kind of manner. And I wouldn't have had to come up with it had it not been for the feedback. So I'm glad I got to hear from the people who played the demo on Patreon, as that was what prompted what I came up with. And then after that, that's the end of the chapter, and endless mode is unlocked. Kind of similar to Soul Survivor, which if you don't know is a game that I released last year. And on that topic, quick side note, if you want to quickly and easily learn how I make games like this, which was number 13 top selling paid game on itch back in September, I have dropped a free tutorial course for you. Yes, you specifically. This tutorial course is for you. These 9 videos will get you up and running from a complete beginner to you having the foundational knowledge to make whatever you want, with even more videos coming soon. And the link to that is in my bio. So yeah, back to the video. With me having finished making all the gameplay for the game, I was able to move on to the next task, which is to begin making the in-game cutscenes. Starting with the first one after you learn how to lock on an enemy, attack them, shoot, and evade their attacks. Now, any more on that will be in my more updates bulletin until it is done. And when it is done, I'll see you in the next video where I go over my work on that. Peace.